is a video for my daughter. Because I'm living as if something's going to happen. And if it doesn't, I almost can't believe it. But probably one question on your mind is, how did I get into all this? So let's jump back to the good old days. I'll use AI to make a lot of this movie. When I was very young, I moved all of the time. I'm pretty sure by the time I graduated college, I'd moved 12 times. This made it really hard to make friends, but easy to pick up skills and hobbies, because there were a number of things that were always consistent no matter where I was. A lot of that was music and celebrity gossip. One of my favorite things to do was watch the TV show The OC. Even though I wasn't allowed to, I was able to figure out how to get it with an antenna on my TV in my bedroom. So once a week I'd go to bed early, but actually just go watch The OC. But my grandpa didn't mind I watched the show, so he was the only one that would talk with me about it, and he loved to talk about it because he really liked that show. I used to love the main actress and follow all the gossip websites about her, and like I said, I was always moving, and at least she was always around. So when I found out she was going to get killed off the season before the show had premiered, it was really hard to watch, but probably harder for everyone else who hadn't seen the spoiler ahead of time. When I was young, I was always really good at researching. And when I got older, I wanted to do it more. I used to notice as he got older too, he was really obsessed with watching the stock market. And I always thought I wanted to learn about it too. But when I did go off to college and I tried to go and study in the business school, they turned me away. They said it was probably going to be too difficult for someone like me. Instead, they told me to go do communication studies. So instead, I just gave a whole lot of presentations, and I learned how to give speeches and research things. After college, I went and worked overseas teaching English in Shanghai. It was really amazing because all the kids were studying at a way more advanced level, even in kindergarten. A lot of the kids were doing multiplication and division by the time they were going to first grade. And here in America, we don't see that. So one thing I noticed when I was living in Shanghai is how it got really lonely at the end. I spent about a year or two without hanging out with many friends because everyone was leaving or getting kicked out of the country. So I started realizing how valuable Netflix was, the company. So I took a risk on my own and I bought a bunch of their shares. I figured it would probably go up. About a year later, I was right, and it 5x'd my money. The next investment that I wanted to buy was a little bit risky, but it was Dogecoin. I saw a girl talking about it, and the way she was talking about it and the way the community was reacting, I felt like something was there. But I was right. Then I was right again. At that point, my financial advisor quit on me. I wanted to make more moves like this, and he didn't want to work with me anymore, so he kicked me out. So he kicked me out even though we were family friends. So when I was studying all these stocks, I noticed there were themes in AMC, GameStop, and Bed Bath & Beyond. Now, you guys may remember that Bed Bath & Beyond went bankrupt a while back, and I don't know what you heard about it, but they were making fun of it in a lot of the news and even some cartoons. A lot of things were making fun of it. But if you dig deeper and you research, they're making fun of it because they didn't want anyone else to buy it, because the company is coming back. They also say there's a lot of scandal going on, which I haven't gone through myself to confirm, but they're thinking that maybe even companies that were associated at like Bye Bye Baby were actually... So there's a whole lot going on here, and there's a lot to cover up. But the more it's all coming out, the more it's all coming clear. So MOASS, it's going to be 4 or 5 years worth of can kicking by all these financial institutions finally buying back these shares of companies that all these people like myself have not stopped fighting for. So now they're going to restore these companies that we grew up with. All these companies that have gone out of business that we grew up and we loved so much. We got so used to them just going out of business and that was normal. No, turns out it was planned. You see, that's the thing with balloons, is you'd expect them to pop eventually. But instead, these balloons didn't pop. Everyone helped them. And all the companies that thought people would pop their balloons and get rid of them, they now have to pay because there's all of these people holding balloons that they love so much. And now you're going to have to buy back the shares. And pretty soon, this is going to catch on to the mainstream media. It's going to catch on in the stock market. Everything. All this is going to come out. And I truly believe it'll be for the better. for everyone because it's going to make all the businesses better. And they keep saying it's like bringing back the best of our childhood, bringing back the nostalgia. So that's my goal. That's what I fight every day. So I just want to thank all the people who helped and who have been encouraging me or born during this process. There's some people on Twitter who I'm good friends with and I appreciate. In my real life, I don't think any of my friends like hearing about this. Definitely none of my family. And for the sake of this movie, let's thank Madeline. What's her name? Madeline Boner? Madeline Squealer? What'd they name her? Not Madeline Nutter. I hope that next year our guest, Madeline Nutter, the street performer, let's sign off with a dance from her. I think I can swing that.
Diamond hands shining in the night, waiting for MOASS. No time for fear. When the moon's so close, it feels so near. The charts are wild, they climb and steep.